Greetings and salutations. Yesterday I dropped a list for whom I consider to be some of the worst fathers in anime. Today I wanted to do the opposite list and nominate who I would consider some of the best fathers in anime. So, before we begin, there are a lot of great characters that take on fatherly roles despite not being actual fathers themselves. To try to keep this list condensed, I'll just be including biological fathers or those who have adopted. Otherwise, I think the father figures would actually own this list. With that out of the way, let's begin. Number 1 on my list is Gendo Ikari, the obvious example of a fantastic father. Bro builds a giant robot for his son. What an ungrateful little shit Shinji is. Alright, I'm kidding. The real number 1 of this list goes to Maze Hughes from Fullmetal Alchemist. Now, Fullmetal Alchemist has no shortage of positive father figures. We start the series thinking that Hohenheim went out for a milk run, but turns out his story is a lot more complex than that, and he's ready to give his life for his sons at the end. Judging by his interactions with the brothers C. Curtis, looks like he would have made a fantastic father. If only. Philip Gargantos Armstrong, besides having what may be the most metal name in anime, raised both Olivia and Alex, so he has to have done something right. But still, I'm giving the nomination to Maze Hughes. Besides being a generally likable character, we will be ignoring the Conqueror of Shambhala. Nazi. He's also a doting father who regularly swoons at just about every action his daughter takes. Just don't be a young boy in his vicinity. Sadly, he does get killed while his daughter is still young, but all those little interactions we see between the two are just adorable. Next up is Twilight himself, Lloyd Forger. Originally, he adopted little Anya so that she can help him complete a mission. Despite that, it doesn't take too long for the little girl to worm her way into his heart, to the point that he willingly puts his mission at risk several times on her behalf. So elegant. Naruto, like Fullmetal Alchemist, is another series with positive father figures, but sadly not you two. Oh, you can F right off. Sadly, the best examples appear to be side characters that have minor appearances in the show. Some are a bit more complex, like Hyoga Hayashi, who is a bit of a hard ass at the start of the series, but obviously cares about his 2 daughters and nephew. Nara Shikaku has one of my favorite scenes in the actual series, where he comforts his son who had just lost his sensei. But in a series full of Papa Wolves, my favorite would have to go to Maito Dai, the father of Maito Gai. Despite being mocked as the eternal genin by his peers, generally for having little to no talent as a ninja, Maito Dai shows his mettle when his son and friends are confronted by the 7 swordsmen of Mist. Basically the 7 biggest badasses from the Mist village. Despite the massive differences in talent, Maito Dai manages to kill at least 4 of them using the 8 gates, a style that he passed on to his own son, who inherited Dai's lack of talent. He would also inherit Dai's, I'm gonna call it, flair. Guy would pass the technique to his student, Rock Lee, who was also considered talentless, and Rock Lee would pass the technique to his own son, Metal Lee, who suffers from the worst handicap of the 4, being in Boruto. Toga, aka the Great Dog General from Inuyasha, is next one on my list. Prior to the start of the series, Toga received a fatal blow from another demon. Toga realizes that his second wife and son are in danger, launches a rescue attempt to save them. He succeeds, but with his injuries, he falls. Toga would bequeath his 2 swords to his 2 sons. His sword, Tessaiga, which could cut 100 demons in a single swing, would go to his half-demon son, Inuyasha. His sword, Tenseiga, which could save 100 humans in a single swing, would go to his full-demon son, Sesshomaru. Might be noticing a bit of a disparity between these 2 swords. Well, so did Sesshomaru, who originally wanted Tessaiga and Toga's 3rd sword, Sounga. Sesshomaru didn't really care about anyone else, so he never wanted Tensaiga. He surely didn't care about humans either. Sesshomaru only cared about getting stronger. But Toga was the father to an anime protagonist and realized that the path to true strength was caring about other people or something. So he devised a plan to get Sesshomaru to care. Good news, it worked. And Sesshomaru would even go on to marry a human woman and have half-human children, much like the brother that he once hated. The bad news is that said mother was... You know what, Dragon Ball Z Abridged fans? Destroy me. Destroy me in the comments. Go ahead. Next character I wanted to touch on is from Dragon Ball, and this one immediately became difficult because there's no shortage of good fathers, ranging back all the way to the beginning with Grandpa Gohan and Goku. Look, if the Kents legally adopted Clark, I'm assuming Gohan legally adopted Goku. There's also the Ox King with Chi-Chi, questionable clothing aside. Krillin has Maron, questionable name aside. Mr. Satan, aka Hercule, was obviously a doting father who raised a little badass who, as far as we know, never engaged in questionable behavior. Gohan appears to be similarly doting to his daughter Pan. During most of the Cell Saga, Vegeta had one foot out the door but relaxed after the temporary death of future Trunks. Lord Guru was the father of every Namekian on the planet Namek during the Frieza Saga, and seemingly was a much-loved leader and father. Goku was a great father. Hey, I hear you guys typing in chat right now. Relax. Yes, the Cell Saga was a major fuck-up. No one is denying that. But y'all act like Goku hasn't literally given his life twice for Gohan. He's also appeared as a Force Ghost twice for his sons. Technically one of those was a movie, but F it, I'm still counting it. He saved Gohan, Goten, and hell, the world, more times than you can count. Cut the man some slack. He's not perfect, but who is? Throwing out some honorable mentions, there are plenty of characters in Naruto that I never mentioned, but for the biological father rule I included at the top of the list, I would include Naruto's father figures. Jiraiya, Kakashi, and certainly Aruga would be at the top of this list. Most of the parents in My Hero Academia appear to be good people, or at least people trying to do better. Not you though. You stay over there. Ross here is blackmailed into voting against an equality bill because a villain has kidnapped his daughter and is threatening to kill her. Which is sad because that equality bill would have really helped his hot android wife. I imagine his home life would have gotten super awkward after that. You can argue Guts from Berserk. Sadly, the child in question may or may not be Griffith, a relationship that would make Oedipus commit seppuku out of sheer terror. Subaru from ReZero looks like he has a pretty cool dad. Sadly, he only appears in a single episode that is technically some kind of dream sequence, so that coolness is in question. Joseph appears to be a decent father to his daughter and later adopted daughter. Maybe not the best husband, but again, no one's perfect. Likewise with Spirit Aborn, a man who attempts to be a doting father, but due to his cheating/womanizing ways, Maka doesn't actually want anything to do with him. George Miyagusuku is a loving father to 3 adopted children, but sadly, he's in a horror anime. And finally, for the honorable mentions, though I haven't gotten too far into Maiden Abyss, I am assured that this Bondrewd guy is deserving on a spot on this list. But let me know what you think. Are there any other fathers in anime that you feel do belong on this list? Let me know below in the comment sections, and if you have enjoyed this video, please drop me a like, and if you have enjoyed my inane ramblings, please subscribe to the page. Peace.